Moonlit Tales, Asia presents stories from the past where love, fate, and darkness intertwine. Long, long ago in the fertile lands of ancient Vietnam, where rivers wound like silver threads through emerald fields and life moved with the rhythm of water, there lived a young man named Chu Dong Tu. His story did not begin with greatness, but with a poverty so deep that few could truly understand it. He lived with his father in a small, fragile hut near the riverbank, and between them they owned almost nothing. No land, no wealth, no possessions of value. In fact, they shared only a single piece of cloth. By day the father wore it while working, and by night the son would use it to cover himself. It was their only protection, their only dignity in a world that gave them very little, yet despite everything they never complained. They lived quietly, enduring hardship with patience and a quiet kind of love. As the years passed, his father grew weaker. His hands trembled, his breath became shallow, and his strength slowly faded away one evening as the sun sank into the horizon, painting the sky in warm, fading colors. The old man called his son to his side. His voice was soft and tired. He told his son to keep living, to never lose hope no matter how. Hard life became Chu Dong Tu knelt beside him, holding on to those final words. That night his father passed away, and in that moment the young man faced a choice. He looked at the only cloth they had, the last thing of value in their world. Without hesitation, he used it to wrap his father and buried him with care and respect. He chose dignity for his father over survival for himself. From that moment on, he had nothing left. Not even clothes to wear. Life became harsher than ever, unable to appear. Before others, he spent most of his days hidden in the river. He lived beneath the water, catching fish to survive, avoiding the eyes of the world. When boats passed, he sank deeper. When people came near, he buried himself in sand and mud along the riverbank. Lived like a shadow, unseen, unheard, forgotten. Yet he endured day after day alone. Far away inside the royal palace lived Princess Tien Dung. She was surrounded by silk gold and endless comfort, yet her heart longed for something else. She did not crave luxury, she craved freedom. She wanted to see the world beyond the palace walls, to feel the wind and walk among ordinary people. Many noble men came to ask for her hand in marriage, princes, generals, and wealthy lords, but she refused them all. She would not allow her life to be decided by others. She wanted love, not arrangement. She wanted choice, not duty. One day she set out on a journey along the river. Her royal boat drifted gracefully across the water with attendants and guards surrounding her. Music played softly, but her heart remained restless. When the boat reached a quiet stretch of riverbank, she suddenly ordered it to stop. She felt something different about that place, though she could not explain why. The attendants quickly prepared a place for her to rest, as was her custom. She decided to bathe in the river. At that very place, Chu Dong Tu was hiding. Seeing the royal entourage, he panicked. With nowhere to escape, he quickly buried himself in the sand, holding his breath, hoping no one would notice. As the princess stepped into the water, the current began to shift the sand beneath her feet. Slowly the grains moved away, and then she saw him. The hidden man was revealed before everyone. The guards reacted instantly, shouting in anger, drawing their weapons, but the princess raised her hand and stopped them. She did not show fear. She simply looked at him carefully. There was no arrogance in his eyes, no wrongdoing, only shame and quiet honesty. She asked who he was. With nothing left to hide, he told her everything: his life, his father, his poverty, and how he survived beneath the river. When he finished, silence filled the air. Then the princess smiled gently. She said that this meeting was not an accident, but destiny. Before anyone could stop her, she made a decision that shocked everyone. She said she would marry him. The guards could not believe what they heard. They protested loudly, calling it madness. But she did not change her mind. For the first time, she felt something real, something beyond the rules of the palace. And so right there by the river, without ceremony, without permission, she chose him. When the king heard what had happened, he was furious. He could not accept that his daughter had married a poor, unknown man. He declared that she was no longer his daughter. He cast her out and refused to see her again. Tiandong lost her title, her status, and her place in the palace. But she did not regret her choice. Together, she and Chu Dong Tu began a new life. They traveled, from place to place, trading goods, learning from people, and building their future step by step. Life was not easy at first. They had no wealth, no support, and no protection. But they had trust, respect, and love. Slowly, their honesty attracted others. Their kindness earned trust. Their effort created opportunity. Over time, they became successful merchants known in many places. One day during their journey, Chu Dong Tu met a mysterious monk. There was something unusual about him. His presence was calm, and his eyes seemed to see beyond the ordinary world. The monk spoke about life compassion and deeper truths. Chu Dong Tu listened carefully, learning from every word. Before leaving, the monk gave him 2 items, a simple hat and a wooden staff. Said they would guide him when the time was right. That night, Chu Dong Tu and Tiandong rested in an open field. They placed the hat on the ground and leaned the staff beside it. As they slept, something extraordinary happened. When morning came, they woke to a sight beyond imagination. A magnificent palace stood before them. Golden towers, rose-high servants moved gracefully, and an entire city had appeared overnight. People from nearby lands came in amazement. Word spread quickly about the mysterious place. A new kingdom had formed, and at its center stood Chu Dong Tu and Tiandong. But such power brought fear. When the king heard of this, he believed it was a threat. He thought it was a rebellion. He sent his army to destroy it. As the soldiers approached, the sky darkened. Thunder roared and lightning split the heavens. The earth trembled beneath their feet, and in a single moment, everything vanished. The palace, the city, and the 2 who stood at its heart disappeared, gone without a trace. Some believe they ascended to the heavens. Others say they became immortals, watching over the land. But their story lives on, a story of love that defied power, of courage that rose from nothing, of a choice that changed destiny forever. And even now, along the rivers of Vietnam, when the water glows under the light of the sun, some believe their presence still lingers. A quiet reminder that destiny does not belong to kings. It belongs to those who dare to choose their own path. This story is retold and adapted by Moonlit Tales Asia, inspired by traditional folklore. Please do not copy, re-upload, or redistribute this content in any form without permission.